All right, let's talk about something that can totally change the game in your classroom. We're going to break down 5 simple but seriously powerful routines. Ready? Let's dive in.
So what is the secret to a calm, focused classroom? I mean, every single one of us is asked that question, right? You got this room buzzing with energy, full of bright kids, but how do you get all that energy pointed towards learning instead of, well, chaos? Is there some magic trick we're all missing?
Well, the answer isn't magic. It's actually much more practical. It's routine. Seriously, the real secret is building this rock-solid foundation of routines that are super clear and super consistent. Think of them like the invisible architecture of your classroom, the thing that holds it all together so learning can happen.
Okay, so here's the plan for the next few minutes. First, we'll talk about going from chaos to control. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, setting expectations, orchestrating classroom flow, and structuring student activities. And at the end, we'll wrap it all up for you.
All right, first things first. Let's talk about moving from chaos to control. I want you to think about routines like the operating system for your classroom. You know, they should just run quietly in the background. And that's so important because it frees up your students' brains. When they're not spending energy trying to figure out what to do, they have way more brain power left for the actual learning.
And that brings us right to our second point, setting clear expectations. This is all about having policies that stop disruption before it even has a chance to start. You're basically answering their questions before they even think to ask them.
Okay, first up, the restroom policy. I know, it sounds so small, right? But just think for a second. How many times has a great lesson been thrown off track by that one simple question? A really clear, consistent rule that everybody knows, just poof, it makes that interruption disappear.
But here's the key. Just having a policy isn't enough. It's a 3-step dance. You have to state it clearly, you have to actually teach it, and then you have to display it somewhere everyone can see it. When it's visible, there's no confusion. Not for the students, not for a substitute, not for anyone. Everybody's on the same page.
All right, next up, a speaking and listening policy. Now, this isn't about telling kids to be quiet. Not at all. It's about creating a protocol, a way of doing things, so that every single voice can be heard, but one at a time. It's how you set the rhythm for respectful conversations in your classroom.
And you know what the magic word is here? Consistency. The classic raised hand works great, but whatever you choose, it needs to be the rule for everyone. And just like that restroom policy, you've got to display it. Making it visible and consistent is what makes it stick.
Okay, so we've got the talking part down. Now, let's talk about the moving part. This next section is all about orchestrating the flow of your classroom, managing all that movement, and turning those potentially messy transitions into something smooth and easy. You'd be amazed how powerful a simple signal can be. Just a hand gesture or a quick code word and boom, the whole class is synchronized. It's the signal that says, okay, it's time to start or time to move, all together. Now, the source material does mention this might be less necessary for older students, but for most classrooms, it's a total game changer.
And this is especially true for group work. Just look at the difference. Without a plan, you get traffic jams, wasted minutes, total confusion. But with a plan for group seating, the flow's smooth, transitions are fast, and everyone knows exactly what to do.
And here's a really important little detail we can't forget. We can't just assume kids know how to sit in a group, especially the younger ones. You have to explicitly teach them how to do it. You know, arranging chairs so everyone's facing each other. That simple thing ensures everyone can see, hear, and actually be part of the group. It's a skill you have to teach.
Okay, we've covered expectations and movement. So now, let's get into structuring the actual student activities. This is all about keeping that learning focused and on task. This one is so simple, but wow, is it effective. Always announce the time limit for an activity. And then, this is the important part, put a countdown clock up on the screen. It creates this clear boundary for the work, and it just instantly helps students zero in and focus.
And this is why it's so brilliant. The source material points out that time limits help students learn to estimate, and that is a skill they absolutely need for timed exams. So you see, it's not just about classroom management. You're teaching them a life skill. You're getting them ready for what's next.
All right, let's pull all this together for your routine for success. Because these aren't just 5 random tips, right? They all connect. They're all part of one big, powerful system to make your classroom run smoothly.
So here it is, your toolkit for a calm classroom. You've got your restroom policy, your speaking protocol, that signal for transitions, a plan for group seating,
And of course, setting and displaying time limits. These are your 5 foundational pieces.
So the big question for you is, what now? Look, you don't have to do all of this at once. That's not the point. Just look at this list and ask yourself one simple question. What's the one routine that will transform my classroom tomorrow? Which one of these would have the biggest impact right away? Just pick one and start there.